This is Blade Method Mindset, Episode 3. I'm Chris Treanor with Cory Allen. Hello, Cory.
Hello.
All right, Episode 3. Looking really forward to this one. We've got some questions from people at our gym. They've reached out and come up with some good ones. Cory's got them all written out right here, so he's going to ask away and open a LaCroix.
Sorry, LaCroix. For Gerald, yes, we're still drinking LaCroix. That's one of the questions. Are you still drinking LaCroix?
Yeah, so
we're
last
trying to
episode.
Get a sponsorship.
Well, we're not trying to. Well, if LaCroix wanted to sponsor us, I don't know if we're quite ready for LaCroix. I don't know if we're on their radar yet.
But we might be.
But we would take it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And one thing, LaCroix, we stuck by you during, the past week or so. There's been some inflammatory publishings about your company and some rumors, and we didn't have it. We didn't believe it. We drank away, kept it coming, and continue to do so, and never believed them. So,
honestly,
if you take that into account,
they might send us LaCroix now for that.
Absolutely,
just for that.
Yeah, if we got to contact someone there though.
Yeah, we got to talk to someone at LaCroix. With the combined 1,200 followers that we have, we might be good. All right, questions. Yeah, that's about right. Probably.
Okay. All right. So, we have some topics that we want to discuss, but I think that some of the questions that came through today, we'll probably cover that. I know we were going to get into some nutrition today, so we got some specific nutrition questions, and ultimately we want to talk to our people and get those questions answered. So, fire away.
All right. So,
I don't think we're going to start with the nutrition.
No. First question comes from none other than Claire Treanor. Very profound question. She would like to know, how many T-shirts does Chris own?
Yeah. And again, like I said before the show started, I don't see how this is relevant to the podcast or anything really.
Because some people just like things. They're memorable.
Exactly. And that's really what Claire doesn't understand is that T-shirts, we got some dogs going in the background, is some T-shirts that men own don't just get thrown away. Like, if you are 13 years old and you went to a baseball game and your grandma bought you a shirt and then, there was just something that remarkable happened in that game, you hold on to that shirt for the rest of your life.
Forever, until you give it to your son or your grandson.
Yeah,
it just gets passed down. T-shirts are important.
Very important. And they sometimes pick up odor, if you wear them. And so guess what happens? You stop wearing them.
But you don't throw them away.
You don't throw them away. You just keep them in your closet.
Just because you don't wear something all the time.
Yeah.
Like, there's 5 days. I don't cycle through 5 shirts.
Your high school football jersey. Your basketball camp that you went to and one of your favorite basketball players was coaching. Lots of stuff.
It's ridiculous. And coming from Claire, who probably has more, winning T-shirts than anybody here.
Yeah.
Just doesn't keep anything.
Well, I remember when we got married, she had a couple of trunk loads of University of Arizona soccer stuff with her name on it and her number, and she threw a lot of that. Of that away. She kept one jersey and her letter jacket, and basically threw almost everything else away. She has a lot of stuff. I don't know if her friends at U of A would get mad about that. But maybe not. They're girls. I don't know if
I don't think
they care.
Girls hold as much value in what it is to have a T-shirt.
Yeah, and so Claire did one cool thing one time. So she knew that I would get super offended if she threw away my shirt, so she made me a quilt of the shirts, which was a good idea. But now they can never be worn. Not that they wouldn't be worn.
I appreciate
that I would wear them. I mean, it is cool. I appreciate you not throwing them away.
But now I can never put them on.
Yeah, it's the reason we keep them is the idea that one day you could wear that shirt.
Yeah, someday you get to wear it again. Pete has
2 shirts.
Blade shirts from the beginning, the original Blade shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Those would get thrown away.
But he still wears it.
Well, yeah. But every time you see it, you always give him a smile. It's the first time you see it all over again. You're like, oh, Pete, that's a great shirt.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the slogan on that one?
Vanquish fear with courage, discipline, passion, and pure awesomeness.
Yeah. Oh, I love that shirt.
Yeah. Claire and I, I didn't think we were going to spend this much time on this shirts. We might not get through all the questions today. But when Claire and I, before we even had a gym, and it was still in the garage, we were back in my hometown, Lawrence, Kansas, and there was a T-shirt shop down on Massachusetts Street, the greatest street in America. And it's actually top 10 street in America rated by the City Planning Commission magazine, something like every year.
Nice.
So I'm not just making that up. But so there's a t-shirt shop there, and we went in there and printed like 5 shirts, and it was like $280. And I still have a couple of them. I made a crop out of one of them, but yeah, so that was on there. I don't know why I wanted to tell that story, but just another mistake.
Yeah, not only did she get mad that we keep shirts, now we have shirts that we keep just for the purpose of becoming man crops. Yeah, crop top shirts.
And so that's another thing about the crop top. Like, that continues me wearing shirts. So she'll get upset if I make a crop top shirt to lift in because I don't want to be hot and I don't like wearing a lot of clothes anyways, but you're doing cleans or something, you got to wear a shirt. She'll get upset about the crop top, and I'm like, babe, you're upset that I'm not wearing the shirt? I'm going to crop it up
and then I'll wear
the shirt, and then that continues the life.
Yeah,
and
so now it gets use.
Yeah, but again, really all logical things sometimes just don't make sense in I don't want to say the female mind, but in my wife's mind.
Yeah, just some things you should want to keep. Some things hold value.
Okay, so to answer the question, I have around 400 T-shirts. Somewhere in there. Last time Claire counted them, there's a couple trash bags full. That's just T-shirts, and then, so.
And that's just the way that it is.
Yeah, but I have stopped buying T-shirts. Like, really, I really don't. Very much.
Very much. Okay, next question. So this question's from Alyssa. It is, how should nutrition change with activity? So being if you're doing CrossFit, if you're doing strength training, weightlifting, playing sports, how should your nutrition change going throughout that?
Yeah, so we're switching gears rapidly here. Right into business.
Right into business.
Yeah, so, and this is a great question. What are you doing, and again, it says whether you're doing CrossFit, strength training, weightlifting, what else is it? Sports.
Playing sports.
So, and the way I would word that is, are you doing a strength movement, a aerobic movement, an anaerobic movement, and kind of break it down that way. So, CrossFit encompasses strength, weightlifting, sport. That's what we do, except for we consider ourselves a sport doing CrossFit. But other sports out there use CrossFit to train for their sport. Right. So we are the sport of fitness. So this question's from Tara. Or no, this question's from Alyssa. Tara has another question about kind of the CrossFit and stuff. So Alyssa says, how does nutrition change? And it's not that nutrition changes, it's that the person changes and what they're doing. So 99% of the people listening to this podcast are going to benefit from being 100% consistent on whatever nutrition they're doing. So they don't have to worry too much about the scientific aspect and breaking down what do I do for a strength workout? What do I do for a CrossFit workout? If I'm going and playing basketball for 2 hours, what do I do? If you're eating whole real foods consistently throughout the day, keeping your sugars down, low glycemic, keeping your carbohydrates complex, keeping your fats a blend of omega-3 and omega-6, but more omega-3s, and eating lean proteins throughout the day, 99% of people are going to be fine.
Right.
And they're going to be able to perform at whatever activity that they're doing. The problem is 99% of people don't do that.
Don't have consistency.
Skip meals, are dehydrated, eat too much sugar, don't eat enough protein, and that's where the trouble lies. So it's not that things need to change. When you get up to the upper echelon of elite athlete, and this is so funny because I was just watching a podcast on Conor McGregor's nutrition coach, and he was putting on stuff, and Conor McGregor, one of the world's best UFC fighters, makes millions of dollars fighting and playing his sport. he and can afford to have someone monitoring exactly what he takes in,
when he takes it in,
what time, going along with his training, going along with his sleep, and it's a full-time job. We don't have that luxury. Yeah, I'm a gym owner and I CrossFit and I do that, but I have a job. You know, my job is to get other people fit, and so I can't afford a nutritionist like that, nor do I have the time. So professional athletes, it's their job, it's their living to make sure, and professional CrossFitters, they have this kind of time because they don't have to go earn a living, that they can monitor every single thing that's going into their body. And so if that's you, and you are a professional athlete, and you make your living with your body, then absolutely, you need to have an idea of when you're doing an aerobic workout. Okay, so on Tuesday, your training is aerobic. You're going for a 10-mile run. All right, well, your primary energy source during that is going to be fats. Okay, so I'm not going to have you wake up and pound 50 grams of protein in a shake and, a handful of blueberries. No, your primary energy source in that aerobic workout is going to be fat. So in the morning, you're going to have a blend of omega-3s and omega-6s. You're going to have maybe a little tiny bit of protein and then a ton of carbohydrates. You know, you're going to have 200 grams of carbohydrates, and those are going to be a blend of carbohydrates. You're going to have some to spike your blood sugar right away. Some dextrose, some simple sugars. You might want a little fructose in there because fructose is a slower digesting sugar. It has to be digested by the liver, whereas dextrose bypasses the liver and goes straight to the small intestine. And then you're going to have some really slow ones, something that the body has to convert into sugar, like oatmeal. You know, oatmeal is sugar. It's just much more complex. The body has to break it down and convert that over time. So you're going to need those carbohydrates in different levels and different sources for that aerobic run. Now, if you're going to the gym and the one thing that you have to do that day is do a 5x5 back squat at 80% of your 1 rep max, then your nutrition is going to look a little bit different. You know, your primary fuel source isn't going to be fat, it's going to be carbohydrates. So, but you're also not going to burn that many carbohydrates. You're going to take glycogen out of the muscle to power that workout. So if you want to keep your body fat levels down, then you're going to eat fuel for that workout, which is going to be, depending on the size of the individual, how much muscle mass they have. It could be an apple, a bowl of oatmeal, and half a cup of Greek yogurt, and that's what they need for that workout. Now they have to get their post-workout nutrition. So when you're talking about individuals and what they're doing for training, that, you know, I could sit here literally and talk about it for 2 hours and break it down because everybody's different. But I think what people need to focus on is consistency.
Yeah.
And I'm 34 years old. I've been a trainer since I was 21 years old. However, 13 years, the number one thing that works is consistency.
Something you do all the time. Yeah.
Every single day, 5 or 6 days a week at least, and not blowing it 1 day a week. And so that consistency is waking up, having a plan, being prepared, and executing that throughout the day, 5 to 6 days a week. And that's eating whole foods, blends of carbohydrates and fats, drinking plenty of water, and getting plenty of sleep. If you're a CrossFitter or a weightlifter or someone playing recreational sports, doing that, you're going to be fueled just fine for whatever activity that you're doing, basically.
Yeah.
And everyone's different. You know, there's explosive athletes. You know, you're more of an explosive athlete. If I take you against, I'm trying to think of someone in our gym that people can relate to that would be a less explosive athlete, which I don't want to offend anybody. So I'll take, I don't want to single anybody out. So, someone that has, slower muscle fiber. Okay, I'll take Lisa Colvet, for example, because I've been training her for nearly 10 years. She's a marathon runner, high-level marathon runner. She has run the Boston and the New York, San Francisco, all the big marathons around the country. She has a half marathon tomorrow. She's a smaller athlete. She doesn't have a ton of muscle mass on her. So my fuel for Lisa to run a half marathon is going to be completely different than Cory is going to be doing a 15-minute burner CrossFit workout. But I can't talk about that and say one thing that's going to be different about that on this podcast because everybody's different. Because I could take Cory that's going to go do that half marathon tomorrow, being a much more explosive type 2 muscle fiber athlete than Lisa. And then Lisa that's going to go do that 15-minute CrossFit workout. And their nutrition's going to vary depending on that person.
Right.
Okay, so Cory doing that, he's got to have way more carbs. And he's got to have carbs throughout it because he's got so much muscle mass. He's got so many minerals in those muscles that are going to be drained and need to be replenished throughout it. You know, Lisa, smaller athlete, much less muscle mass, slower twitch muscle fibers. She's going to be good just eating a lot of fat throughout that day, a blend of carbohydrates, going on that half marathon, and she'll probably be just fine. You know, so I hope I am making sense. You know, I tend to just talk and ramble.
I need a lot more than carbohydrates to get through a half marathon. But besides that would be a good, someone to carry.
What do you mean, like someone to read you a book along the way?
Or carry me maybe, or like a dolly, something I could roll on. Mm-hmm. I don't ever want to run that far. That sounds horrible.
Let's do it sometime. You know,
we wouldn't be able to walk.
Yeah, that's true. Half marathon is
13.2 miles.
Oh man, that's a long
I ran 10 miles.
Yeah.
Clovis. You've done Clovis too, right? The 10-mile run, 150 burpee pull-up workout. I did that workout one time with my dad.
Thanksgiving. Claire always wants to do it on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It was the worst thing I have ever done in my entire life. Yeah. I couldn't walk after.
And, you know, so running, you know, and we'll get into mistakes and weight loss.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to begin their weight loss journey and they start training for a half marathon. Well, if you listen to anything we just talked about the nutrition, you know, a long duration aerobic activity is going to wear off. Your metabolism is going to drop off. You're not going to build lean tissue. You're not going to break down lean tissue. The stuff you're taking in is going to not be utilized correctly. You know, strength training has to be involved in that. You know, so anyone out there that wants to start a weight loss journey that might not be going to CrossFit Blade, that's listening to this podcast, long distance aerobic running is great, and that'll last for a little bit of time, and it'll make you healthier certainly, but that's going to die off at a point, and you're going to hit a plateau, and then you're going to need to bang some iron, and that's what's going to keep you going for long-term health.
Boom, bang some iron.
Yeah.
So moving on from that, to a lighter-hearted question. This is the question for me, from Tiffany Vaca. Why am I offended by the E? It's not so... The E in mine... See, the spelling of Cory with an E. And
so episode 1 you said...
Never an E.
Never an E.
Because my entire life I've had to correct people on how to spell my name. Like in class they'd be like, oh, Cory, and the teacher would say, oh, Corey. No, it's not. It's not E... It's just Cory.
Maybe your dad just misspelled the name.
I mean, that's very well possible.
Are there any other documented Corys out there that you know that don't have an E in their name?
Crap, that's a really good question. Oh.
I'm trying to think of some famous Corys.
Yeah. Corey
Feldman, the kid from Goonies.
Does he have an E?
I have no idea.
We need a fact checker. We don't get one of those.
We do need a fact checker.
I'll double as that.
Yeah, so maybe your name's just spelled incorrectly.
Dang it.
Yeah.
My whole life's been a lie.
Yeah, so we should hold off on that question
and
say, is Cory offended by no E, but is Cory offensive to other Corys by not having an E?
That's good. We're going to have to circle back to that, Vaca. I'm going to find out which way is...
If there's no other Cory we can find in the history of the world without an E in their name, will you change your name with an E?
Absolutely not. It just means that I'm special, which I already know.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll circle back to that one. All right, next question. We'll go to Norm.
I can't read your handwriting, so...
That's why I'm reading them.
Okay.
Coaching seasoned athletes. So queuing seasoned athletes, people that have been in the gym forever.
Is that what he's talking about when he says athletes?
Yes.
Like he's not talking about coaching Albert Pujols, who's won the MVP 5 times. He's talking about people in the CrossFit gym.
Yeah, coaching seasoned athletes who may not want the cues that you give them. You know, they've been there long enough. They feel like they know what they're doing, but...
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think that everyone always wants to be coached. I think where the challenge lies is coaching everybody and then triaging. So if I have someone that's 2 weeks into CrossFit, I'm going to pay a lot more attention to them than I am the seasoned athlete that I know is going to execute the movement with good form, good technique.
It's safe, yeah.
But you can't ignore that person, the seasoned athlete. You have to make sure, and they might not know that they're being watched all the time, which they are. But if they start shortchanging range of motion or not engaging a part of their body before a lift, or not getting their lockout on a muscle up, whatever that might be, they want to know about it. Most of them want to know about it. If they've been at CrossFit Blade for 4+ years, they're part of the culture. You know, they know how we do things, and they haven't stuck around that long because they didn't want to hear from a coach about what they're doing wrong. So a good example of this would be the other night with Norm. Wednesday night, Norm was cleaning, and Norm's got 2 kids that have qualified for national weightlifting meets. And you getting a buzz?
Yeah.
Have qualified for national weightlifting meets, and they're awesome lifters, and they've been lifting for years now. Nolan and Jocelyn. And he's got another one on the way to lifting. And Norm was setting up on his cleans. He was doing touch and go cleans from the floor for doubles on Wednesday instead of the snatch. And I just noticed that he wasn't engaging his lats in the bottom of his pull. He was coming into it with a little bit of a rounded back. And if you're not engaging those lats, you're really sacrificing a lot of power and strength in the catch position, pull and catch position. And so I said, Norm, throw those lats back. Engage your lats like Nolan. Right? Mm-hmm. I might have said that to Norm and not said like Nolan, because Nolan gets a big back. Like, Nolan knows how to engage the lats. He's got long old arms, so you can really use that leverage. And he goes, oh, like Nolan, right? Okay, all right. And it was funny that he said that, like that kind of got him going a little bit. And so Norm, he's been at CrossFit Blade for 6 years. I think he's been CrossFitting for almost 7 years. And he smacks a squat clean double PR. He squat clean 200 pounds for the first time in his life, which was a lifetime PR, and then he hit it for a double, which is like, what?
After 7 years.
You know, but if I would have walked by Norm and said, hey, and not have said anything, oh, Norm's been lifting, he's done squat cleans 100 times, I see that his back's not engaged, I'm just not going to say anything because he's a seasoned athlete, he knows what he's doing. That would have not led to that glory moment for Norm. That's probably going to propel his motivation onward for years to come. You know, what's next? I'm 45 years old. I'm the oldest I've ever been. I smack a PR double on the squat clean. So that's how you coach them. You pay attention to them, and if they're doing something wrong, you tell them. Right?
Yeah, it's having the insider, the ability to know that you need to talk to everybody, right? Like you can't just leave someone out because you think they know what they're doing, or you think that they don't want to hear it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that it's the seasoned athlete that doesn't want to hear it, because at our gym anyways, if they've been there for a long time, they do want to hear it, and they're waiting to hear it. I'd say it'd be the newer athlete that doesn't want to hear it. I mean, most specifically middle-aged white dudes. Like, that's specifically the lowest population of CrossFitters. You know, I'm talking about 35 to 45-year-old dudes that have kids, 9-to-5 job, like, have let themselves go and used to be something back in the day, and now they're getting into CrossFit and people are running laps around them and girls are outlifting them, and that type of stuff has happened. Oh, yeah. And guys, I'm speaking the truth. And like, there's people listening to this right now that are going to say, oh, he's talking about me. Well, yeah, I'm talking about you. Like that. But you're not, if you're at CrossFit Blade, you've accepted that fact, you've humbled yourself, you've brought into the culture, and you're making a change. You know, there's people that come into CrossFit Blade with the exact way I just described, can't buy into the culture, can't buy into humbling themselves, and they leave.
Because we try to fix something that's wrong.
Yeah, like, and they don't want to hear it. Most of those guys, you know, they're you know, pig-headed, you know, stubborn, don't want to change. But if you can keep on that person and explain to them, hey, if we just back off a little bit right now, I promise you, next month, 2 months, you're going to get better. You're going to get stronger. You're going to get more flexible. It will happen for you. Please, let's just rein it in real quick. You're going to stay healthy, and then we can do this, and then all those things that you want to do will come. You know, if you have a conversation with them about that and don't just bark orders at them, 9 times out of 10, they come through.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had many and many of those conversations. And sometimes they just don't jive with it. And
yeah, sometimes it goes good.
Shake my hand.
Have a good one. It's like the person, you know, well, I just want to get a workout in. Like, I understand that.
Okay, well, go to 24-hour fitness and get your workout in then. If you're coming to CrossFit Blade in my gym, this is an elite fitness school. We're going to teach you how to work out correctly. We're going to take care of you. And you're going to get the fittest you've ever been in your life.
That we're not here as a coach. I'm not here to push a button on the clock and to turn the music on. Like, this is our profession. As coaches, that's what we're going to do. We're going to coach you. And if that's not something that you want, then you're probably in the wrong spot.
You are probably in the wrong spot. We can change that attitude. You just have to humble and be willing to change. You know, so CrossFit is for everybody. Not everybody's for CrossFit.
Oh, that's a good one. Do you have a t-shirt that says that?
I've said that in different ways, but I've never said it that exact way before. So that's pretty good.
We might need to, if we don't have a t-shirt, then we might have to make a t-shirt of that one.
Okay, we don't make t-shirts because...
Or we could put it on a bumper sticker.
If we could scrape all my 400 t-shirts clean...
And just put that on the back of one? Well, that's it. I mean, I like that slogan.
Yeah. There was one other thing I was going to say about that, but when you said the t-shirt comment, it blanked out, and I don't remember it, so I'm going to try to remember and hopefully come back to it in the future.
In the future times.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Coming from Stephanie. Have you ever programmed a workout that's gotten away from you? Gone too far, just like wrote it down, and probably not for classes, but maybe for us, huh? Like wrote a workout, and when we started, we're like, that might have been a little bit aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
All the time. I don't think you've ever actually said it until after, and we're like, that might have been a little much.
And I probably never didn't say it then either.
Yeah.
So for general class population, no, like, I don't think so, because I've written workouts that I didn't like the result and the stimulus, and I tell people to that, and like I'll tell Cory that or someone, and that doesn't happen often because I spend so much time on one workout, thinking about it, thinking about our members. You know, I think about Grant Cavley. I think about, you know, Alyssa, and I think about Norm, and I think about all the people that are going to be doing this workout, and I watch them do it in my mind and how it's going to go. And if I spent less time and just wrote workouts out and didn't care about them, then yeah, it would be stupid and it wouldn't work. But that's not the case. And so I don't, in general class, like I've never written a workout that I think has gotten out of hand. There's been missed scales. There's been people that maybe misscaled the workout, and that's up to us to make sure that that doesn't happen. But sometimes we want to push people outside of their comfort zone, and we'll let that happen. Yeah. You know, there's a time and place for that where people need to progress. You know, they need to put a little bit more weight on the bar. They need to increase that gymnastic skill a little bit, increase that distance on the run a little bit. And that is needed for growth. And sometimes it's too soon, you know, like, or, you know, like you just give them a little bit more than they could chew off that day. And it was just that particular day because they didn't get much sleep. Their baby was crying, or their boss came down on them at work and they missed a meal, or they got a little dehydrated. Like, lifestyle things happen to contribute to someone's performance in the gym that day. And people need to understand that. But as far as writing out a workout for CrossFit Blades population, I can't, I'm maybe back in the day a little bit more, but I can't think, okay, so all right, here we go. I can't think of one recently. Okay, so back in the Blade 2.0, this means out of the garage but into the small space, just the 1,300 square foot gym. I programmed partner carries. And it was a partner workout, and you had to carry your partner, like, around the building. Fireman carry.
Yeah.
And when you have a 280-pound guy in class and a 150-pound chick in class, and they're the only ones that can partner up, that becomes awkward. And there's not a lot you can do in that situation besides not have that happen.
Yeah.
But so I did do that one time, and that's the exact scenario. One of the members is still at the gym, one of them's not. But so yeah, like think something like that. Like that can't happen.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like if I'm getting after my competitors and like we're going ham and like I want to try some stuff and see what we're capable of, yeah,
it happens.
Yeah.
Every once in a while we get done, Chris goes, yeah, like if we went like 7 rounds, he'd be like, yeah, 5. Like 5 would have been good for that one.
Mm-hmm.
But you know.
And sometimes we'll change it or whatever. But.
Yeah. Or it'll keep going. Like remember with like the burpee over the worms, it was like we're gonna do 20. And then we got to 20 and you just hear like we were like 19, Chris goes, 10 more, we're going to 30. 29. 10 more, we're going to 40. And then Stacy goes, I'm not going to 50.
I'm not going to 50. Yeah, and that was all for Stacy, actually.
Yeah, and she handled it. So
because it was at the end of a training session, and I knew I couldn't get her to bite off 40 burpees in her head before we started, and so that's what we needed to do. And so it was like, okay, we'll give her one more, and it's just 10 more. Yeah. It's just 10 more. And that was awesome.
Good times. Yeah, I think people don't realize that though. Like when you do write workouts, it's easy to write workouts for the best person in the gym, right? You can write a workout for them and say, oh, this will be awesome. It'll crush them. It'll be a great workout. But how do you write that same workout that can be used for all 300 members of a gym? Like you have to look at the entire
through scaling.
Yeah, exactly. Like how
I
are you
write the
scale?
workouts based on Claire a lot in top athletes in the gym of what the time domain is and the skill and the movements and the weights. You'll see that in the RX Plus. But can it be scaled down? Can I give Claire the same stimulus as Melissa Dewar? Right. You know, and that's just for you, Melissa. You know, and Melissa has gotten so much fitter over the years, like it's crazy. She's not even the same human being. So I have to watch that. You know, Melissa is ever evolving. So it's, you know, it's not the same. I'm not thinking about 2015 Melissa. I'm thinking about 2018 Melissa. You know, what's she at now? You know, and as our athletes develop, I'm constantly taking them into account. You know, Patrick Stimmel, I use so many different people.
Based off when you have to write a workout for
but
so many
people.
It's
a lot of times based off of Claire and myself sometimes.
Yeah. If it's squatting, probably me, because I'm really fit. All right, well, that'll lead good into movements. What's your least favorite movement? Favorite movement and or workout? In a workout, I guess, yeah. So front squats, obviously, because you can't catch clean, because you're not good at holding a front rack.
Yeah, I can't hold a front rack. So front squat, and I just have weak quads. Like, it's the weakest part, it's my weakest lift is a front squat. So it's my least favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I still love them. You know, like, I still love it.
If you see them, like, put those into a workout that you know if it comes up, like, it's open. Like, that's not going to be a good workout for me.
If it's a 1 rep max.
Yeah.
You know, like, I can move moderately heavy weight, you know, for, you know, my work capacity is enough to where I can move the weight, you know, but if it gets to a certain point, like elite level CrossFit men, like they're moving some weight in workouts that I can't do, you know, but I'm a 34, soon to be 35-year-old master athlete. So I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Deadlifting, 100%. My least favorite thing to do.
Yeah, because you have weak hamstrings.
Weak hamstrings. I'm not good at
hinging. They don't
hinging.
activate, and your lumbar spine is super weird, and you've got 2 super glued up erectors, and your QL is junky, and I am just off. It makes what else can I say about you?
Anything about a deadlift just buries me.
Yeah, but it's gotten better.
It has gotten better.
It has gotten better.
All-time favorite workout?
Gosh, I don't know. Diane?
No, what? Really?
Deadlifts and handstand push-ups?
Yeah, that's a pretty good one for you. I thought Amanda. I was going to pick Amanda for you.
Amanda,
snatch and muscle up.
Oh yeah, I like Amanda too.
Or 30 muscle ups for time.
Yeah, I mean, anything with gymnastics really. But yeah, I'd say like a benchmark CrossFit workout, probably Diane or Filthy 50. Like I love long grinds too, So I love all workouts.
Yeah, mine would not be that long. Fran.
Yeah, Fran.
The shortest workout.
Thrusters and pull-ups, baby.
Shortest workout possible. And I was actually...
My Diane time's better than my Fran time. I think my all-time best Fran's 2:16 or 2:24 or something like that, and my Diane's 2:11. So
wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. Or I would actually...
Because I can move a 25-pound deadlift way faster than I can move a
95-pound thruster. Puller, not a pusher. I really liked 18-2, though. I would put that up there as one of my favorite workouts.
Those clean?
That dumbbell squat, bar burpee.
Yeah, so like that workout, like way to ruin a burpee, right? Give us a dumbbell front squat. Like if I'm going to do a burpee, I want to have an advantage, and I'm going to most likely be able to pick up an advantage on the field unless I just suck so bad at dumbbell squatting. Yeah, so like that, yeah. So that workout coming up, it's like not necessarily that I don't like the dumbbell squats. I just like to see them with a much more high skill movement.
Yeah.
Throw in some muscle ups in there, throw in some handstand walking. Like, yeah, I'll dumbbell squat, but don't ruin my burpee.
Don't take the burpee away from me.
Yeah. So
that workout was anything I could have ever dreamed of. It was short.
Yeah, smashed it.
It had an end date to it. It wasn't an AMRAP. I like workouts that are based on time and getting them finished. Task based. Back to nutrition from Zane. Typical day of nutrition in our lives. What's a typical eating for Chris Treanor? Wake up, normal day, pick a long day. Wednesday. Wednesday's a long day for you. What do you eat on Wednesdays?
Well,
alarm goes off.
The dinner changes. So I'll do Monday.
Okay.
So alarm goes off. Open up my Bible app, pray, read Instagram, get on Instagram a little bit, let Murph and, whatever. I lay in bed for about 5 minutes, and then do the use, come out into the kitchen, chug some water, always first thing in the morning, guys. If you don't have that habit, like that's something you have to nail down. Chugging water, a big old glass of it, 20 ounces, first thing in the morning is getting ahead of the day. It has to happen. If you're not drinking water in the morning first thing when you wake up, please start doing that. So chug a bunch of water, and then I mix a shake of Advil Greens, Advil Reds, 2 scoops of Muscle Gain protein, and I mix that up and take that down. It's about 45 grams of carbs, and then just a bunch of nutrients. And the only reason I don't have any carbs at that time is because I have them about an hour later. So, and then I get to the gym, I have my oatmeal and blueberries, which I usually put butter in. I'll put a tablespoon of butter, Kerrygold salted butter in there, and sometimes Greek yogurt, like depending on how I'm at and if I want a little bit more protein with that, I'll put in some Greek yogurt in there. Otherwise, it's just butter, oatmeal, and blueberries. I have that. And then depending on what time I'm training, I'll usually have something like a bar right before I work out. And then I have my post-workout shake, which is post-workout recovery, 3 scoops of that, which gives me about 45 to 50 grams of carbs. Sometimes it's like 3.5 scoops, like 25, 30 grams of protein. And there's a bunch of creatine in there. And I have that post-workout. And then I'll come home, get ready for the afternoon session, program. After I'm done programming, I'll usually have like whole grain bread. Claire buys like gluten-free organic whole grain bread, whatever that is. It's good. It's really good. It's come a long way in the past few years. But that'll give me about, the 2 pieces of that will give me about 45 more grams of carbs, which is awesome. And I'll put lettuce, mustard, and about 6 ounces of turkey on that and just smash that. And then I'll go back to the gym. Usually at the gym, I'll either have a shake or a bar, something to tie me over while I'm coaching. And then at night, I'll have, every Monday night, because we meal prep on the weekend, we have 8 ounces of chicken, a couple cups of broccoli, and a cup of rice. And that's what we have every Monday night because we come home, snag it, throw it in the microwave, and get to community group. So that's every Monday. Tuesday, I have a little bit more time to cook because I don't close the gym. So usually some type of red meat. We'll cook beef and broccoli or beef and tomato sauce, or a steak and broccoli, something like that. Usually a red meat and a vegetable. On Tuesdays, Wednesdays, we smash Greek pita, which is the chicken gyro plate.
Bomb. We do that on Thursdays.
Yeah, so Wednesday is a long day for me. I'm just, nonstop. And so, and it's been a long training week as well. So like Wednesday is the day before rest day. So, feeling pretty depleted and sore. And so you get off work late, you just swing by the Greek pita, smash a chicken gyro plate. Life is good.
Extra meat.
You get the meat. You get a cup and a half of rice. You get extra meat. You get like 10 ounces of chicken gyro meat, a pita, and a salad
too.
Yeah, I mean.
And if you go there enough, they know you by name. They know me by name now.
Oh yeah, we call them. They know.
Yeah. Oh, Cory, you want?
And get the same thing every time. You know, I'm not going in there and looking at the menu and what am I going to do? No, we know it. We know what we're getting. And so that's Monday through Wednesday. Thursday is a little bit different because I sleep into about 6, which is awesome because I'm sleep deprived Monday through Wednesday. Not sleep deprived, but I need sleep. I need that recovery sleep to sleep till about 6. So I'll wake up, have that shake usually, and then go swimming, something like that. And then after I swim, I'll usually cook eggs and bacon and stuff like that. Maybe go to some meetings. And then after the meetings, have something small because Claire and I usually cook a big dinner for Claire and I on Thursday nights. Last night was ribeye steaks. Well, she had filet, some bacon, broccoli. And the only reason we didn't have a carb is because I'm cutting right now and
life's miserable.
Yeah, and I almost passed out in the workout today. So yeah, that's typical Monday through Thursday. Friday is basically the same. Friday night we'll have like a treat like cauliflower pizza and a halo top.
It's kind of that's a Claire treat.
What's that?
It's still cauliflower pizza. Like you're not out smashing.
Cauliflower pizza is bomb.
Oh yeah, I eat it all the time, but
smash it.
Making it sound like you.
That's a treat. 100 grams of carbs
in the whole pizza.
Oh yeah.
You guys eat one each?
Yeah.
Oh okay. Well,
come on, Claire.
Well, yeah, Claire doesn't share food.
Little people know that Claire eats more than I do.
And she doesn't, Claire's obviously one of the nicest humans alive. She does not share food at all. Food, treats, I, literally will say no. No, yeah. I'm not sharing.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like she's joking around about it. It's like, no, you're not getting it.
You can't have any. Because can I have some of that ice cream? No. Bottom line, the answer is no, you're not getting any. And she's dead serious. Mm-hmm. Claire doesn't share.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. It's pretty good typical day of eating for you.
Yeah. How about you? Same thing.
Pretty much the same thing. Yeah, we meal prep. I don't measure as well as Claire does, I'm sure, but I try to measure out my carbs, measure out my protein, and I try to get a green vegetable with at least 2 meals a day. So if I coach early, usually I'll just do eggs and oatmeal in the morning, a bar before I train, and then lunch is some sort of protein, ground turkey or chicken breast with rice or sweet potatoes, and then I try to get a green vegetable in there, bar protein, and then try to get green vegetables in with dinner time. So that's kind of the easiest way I can do it and still hope to get as many vegetables as I can. I'm pretty simple though. I eat the same thing every single day. I could eat ground turkey, white rice, and broccoli every single day.
Yeah, that's the thing is don't overcomplicate it. Find out what you can eat every day and eat it. The problem lies, and I've said this for years, is people want entertainment out of their food. Yeah, they want their food to make them feel good. And that's a big problem. If you're constantly searching for a food that's going to make your day, you're going to be constantly searching for your fitness and whatever weight you want to be at. The food doesn't make your day. The food is just fueling that awesome day that you're having. I understand that treats are necessary. I love treats.
Oh yeah,
I love cereal. I don't ever eat cereal anymore because if I do, it becomes like if
Claire bought cereal this week.
Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started.
She told me the other day. She's like,
we haven't had granola or cereal in here. It's not cereal. It's muesli. in the bag.
She's like, she came in so excited. She's like, I bought cereal. I went to the store hungry and I bought cereal. I was like,
it's not
Captain Crunch. What did you get? And
she was like, super, super, super. Well,
it's like cereal. This, gluten-free.
But listen, we haven't had this in the house in. I can't remember the last time. We had 2 different types of granola right now and a muesli.
And you can't have any of it.
And in 7 years of marriage, 7.5 years of marriage, we've never had waffles in this house.
She bought waffles.
She bought waffles.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Organic, gluten-free waffles, but still waffles.
Yeah.
I'm on a 12-day weight cut, drastically reducing my carbs, and she bought waffles. And we talked about, I think last episode or episode 1, about how she didn't think I was gonna make the weight cut and this and that. It's like, babe,
she's going against it.
Yeah, but I haven't had any of it, because I have,
because you got goals, man.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and again, don't have the food in your house, so. Typically, if there's nothing restricting you, like having to make weight in 8 days to lift in a weightlifting meet, if that wasn't, I'd be crushing that muesli.
Yeah.
And it would be sidetracking from my normal day routine, and that's usually why we don't have it in the house. And I understand people have kids, and there's going to be kid food in there, and that's tough. But that's where, you have to just have a plan, be prepared, and preparing to fail, or failing to prepare is preparing to fail, right? You have to be prepared for that situation. Find out something you like, be consistent at it, and then do that 5 to 6 days a week. And you'll get your whatever goal you want. Yeah.
Boom.
Stop being entertained by your food.
Entertain your food.
Yeah.
I don't know if that made sense. All right, so ending it on...
Well, Tara had a question that was verbal.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She verbally asked this question. I don't know if she posted it, but before I left the gym.
I got a couple more on here, but we'll save them for another time. Oh, we got North finally came through. We didn't have many from North, but now I have 17 notifications.
Okay, I was a little offended at first.
North came through. Nance came through. Final Doer. Okay. I saw that you did, Doer. Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll obviously
have another episode,
more episodes and get to more questions. But the last one Tara asked right before we left the gym is, and we might not have time for this. How long have we been going?
We've been going a good amount of time,
40 minutes.
And we have movie quote. That's a big one. We have to end on a movie quote.
So Tara asked, how do you define an athlete? And what she was getting at is, CrossFit athletes are we're talking about CrossFit Games athletes, are extremely athletic, is the point she made out, but they sometimes can't perform standard athletic movements like throwing a softball or doing some of the tests at the CrossFit Games. They just look completely foolish.
Yeah, swinging a baseball bat.
Yeah, and then there's super high-level athletes that are the world's highest paid people or athletes, and they can't power clean correctly. Right. So, we're going to delve into kind of what that is, because Tara was a high-level golfer, a professional golfer, played in the U.S. Open, and so, she probably has been called not an athlete as a golfer, that type of thing, but she can throw a football, so there's a ton of football players out there that can't swing a golf club to save their life, so it's we'll talk about that in another episode, because it's a lot of stuff I want to talk about and break down, so people really understand what an athlete is. I have a guy I trained, I won't get into that, but he was an ex-football player, and I'll talk about that in the other episode. Bryant Westbrook, maybe I'll get you on the show for that. I'm still in touch with him, so yeah.
Episode to come, but we'll finish it off with favorite movie quote and or a quote that you live by. This is a hard one.
Yeah. Well, favorite movie quote is that's really hard.
Yeah.
Even though we quote movies all day long. And that's another thing that wives and girlfriends and
don't understand.
Women, they're why are you quoting movies? And it's well, Because
that's just what you do. If something makes you think of a great moment in a movie, you say the movie quote, another dude gets the quote, and then it's like you just had a cool dude moment between the movie quote.
Yeah, it's a form of communication.
Yeah.
It's a very highly intelligent form of communication that only
being able to decipher movie quotes and actual events in life, like that's a big deal.
Yeah.
We hit Clary in a lot of knowledge.
From movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and books.
Well. Movie quote, just off the top of your head, it's got to be a Top Gun quote. That's all I can think of from you.
Why?
Because you love Top Gun. It's your favorite movie.
We were talking about Top Gun today, but Top Gun doesn't have a lot of quotes.
Yeah.
I feel the need for speed.
Or I'll fly with you, right? That's a good one.
Yeah.
You get
I say that all the time, yeah. I'll fly with you. And people are like, and they don't know what that means. So it's not, they are unable to communicate with me. So like, if someone needs something done and, you know, whatever that might be, a task, and I say, I'll fly with you.
Yeah.
Then they know I'm going. I'm ready to rock. You know, they might not know what that's from. And if you say name that movie, they'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about, and I'd prefer you not to ask me that question. And those aren't necessarily my type of people.
Yeah. Or if someone says like, I need water. Water makes you weak. Yeah. Water's for cowards, and they're like,
remember the Titans, but that's not a one-liner, you know, like that's not something that you know I use in my daily vocabulary, like for certain situations that only certain people know. So
favorite movie quote is hard, Tosh. Sorry,
or like ducks fly together.
Ducks fly together. We say that
so
all
someone's
the time.
trying to do something outside of the group.
We say that all the time. When Chris and I decide that we're going to do a workout, and usually just because of this past season, it was myself, Chris, Stacy, and Ashley, and one of them is like, I don't really know. Ducks fly together. Like, we just got to do it.
Yeah, this is what we're doing.
There's no other option.
Yeah, if a duck goes off on their own, guess what?
They get shot.
No, they die.
Well, yeah.
Do you know why ducks fly in a V?
To stay together. I don't know.
So geese and birds
can't pick them
off of each other when they fly in. And so when they're traveling long distances, a geese will be out front and they'll be flying, and then the geese behind them will come up and pick up so that they have less resistance. And then if one goes down and needs to rest, another one goes with them.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sandlot too. We quote a lot of Sandlot.
Oh yeah, there's a ton.
Bring it up.
Bring it up.
We would do that, and Ash goes, Big Daddy, Braveheart, like just randomly naming movies, which is also offensive. If you don't know the quote, don't say another movie. Yeah, just accept that you don't know the quote.
Don't say the only movie that you've watched ever seen in the past year and a half.
Yeah. Not every word comes from Braveheart that a guy says.
Yeah. Well, Claire won't even guess.
She won't even try.
Stop. Stop. I don't care.
I don't know.
And that's the thing is like, we might be losing several of our female viewers right now, and many men might be tuning in right now. There's calls going out about movie quotes, and my brother and I do it. You know, I mean, it's a male thing.
Yeah, my dad and I do it all the time. Movie quotes. Hawaii pizza.
I don't need to get into that.
All right, quote to live by. You got one?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
And I had it up in the gym, but it's the man in the arena, Theodore Roosevelt. I love Teddy Roosevelt. There's a quote of him up in the men's bathroom above the urinal. You know, Teddy, big fan. But the man in the arena, for those of you that haven't heard it, I'll read it right now. And I used to have it up in...
It was in the hallway.
At the gym. I really want to get it up at the new gym just because it's something that I completely live by. Like, in the way I treat people and the way I live my life is basically through these words, and I never want anyone to not know that I'm super passionate about what I do, and I'm always willing to get in there and mix it up and do what needs to be done. And I love other men that live like this as well. So it is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who never knew victory nor defeat. And that is like what instantly popped to your mind is like a internet critic, you know, like someone that types on their keyboard all the things that they know but never gets out there and doesn't live it, or doesn't even live by it or anything. And like the people that know me well or people that don't even know me well know that I don't sugarcoat things very often. I tell them exactly how it is, and I want people to do that for me. I don't know everything. I don't know anything. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly trying to learn, but I do that by accepting truths from people that know more than me. And I want to always inspire people to do that same thing and get in the arena and be living life, changing people's lives, and just doing it passionately. And man, I love this quote. There's nothing that even comes second or third. It's that and then every other quote for me.
Yeah, that was a really good one. I can't even talk after that. That was... Set the bar high with that quote. And that was a long one. So.
Ducks fly together.
Ducks fly together.
Well, we'll give you one for next week.
Yeah, well, I'll get a quote in for next week. I have favorite quotes, but yeah, I'll say mine next week. That's a good way to end the podcast.
Awesome. See you guys next time.
See you later.